So dudes, Year 9, Season 1 of Rainbow Six Siege is finally upon us, and I want to thank Ubisoft for sponsoring this video and for inviting me out to the early access build to show you guys what's in store for you. There's lots of new information to take in. One main point is the matter of attachments and ADS changes. We're only going to have 4 types of sights in Siege now. Iron sights, which give you an ADS speed increase, regular 1x optics, 2.5 magnified, and 3.5 telescopic. Azami is finally getting nerfed. You can shoot the Kibas. It takes about a full AR mag to go through them. Deimos is getting added to the game as well. And we're rolling out some new player protection stuff to use AI and machine learning to tackle the cheater threat. This video details all of this and more, plus additional context. Starting with some general thoughts about what it's been like for me to cover Rainbow Six Siege throughout the course of Year 8, and sort of taking a look at where I'm going and where I've been. So click the link in the description to get ready for another exciting year of Rainbow Six and start playing today. There's never been a better time to get involved. And once again, thank you so much to Ubisoft for sponsoring this video on Year 9, Season 1. It's clear that Ubisoft is unhappy with just the overall way the gunplay is codified. So I would suggest, if we want to do it, just go back to the drawing board, get rid of the laser beam recoil completely. I'm not talking just add a crap ton to an arbitrary degree. I mean, really think about how the guns kick, sway your camera, how they enunciate themselves, stuff like that.
We're starting Year 9 strong with going after that run and gun meta with an ADS adjustment and final attachment overhaul that completes the package we started some time ago.
You're from below as well.
Killed him in the bed.
Wanting pillar?
I know.
Oh my god.
Failed. All friendlies have
What
been
was
You
this?
almost had me.
Interrogation halfway through. I don't know why.
Siege is my Rorschach test. In the 8 years now going into my 9th, playing Rainbow Six Siege, mainly in regards to making content online, I've learned a lot about people. I've learned a lot about how and why people communicate. As a content creator, here's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to show you that they're slowing down the ADS time a lot. I'm going to show you there's a playable villain as a character in a Tom Clancy game this time around. What, so he has like a Dragon Ball like scanner? What, like... Okay. Vegeta, what's his power level? And that they're removing 2.0 and 1.5 scopes with a streamlined selection of 1x, 2.5, and 3.5 zoom options, with many ACOGs to go around. I'm supposed to get mad. I'm supposed to rage bait and tell you all how Ubisoft is ruining the game because pro players complained about the 1.5 meta. I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is show you my favorite parts of the patch and how I think you might have your mind changed if you decided to put the game down. Did you catch that reload? Watch Fuse reload again.
Oh, there she goes.
So you're noticing how I'm sprinting with the shield up? You notice how I'm reloading it behind the shield? See that little icon there, free look? That's the shield rework. It's a more involved, kind of gritty, down to the ground, sort of cinematic presentation of how a shield operator would work in this kind of context. Despite what anybody would say, the game is still doing pretty well, at least in terms of the popularity chart. Check out Google reviews, check out Steam, check out the PlayStation charts, and obviously check out Twitch. Thanks, Jinxie. I'm not gonna sit here and try to embellish things. I'm not gonna act like the game doesn't have a popular fan base. I'm not gonna act like everything is the end of the world every single day. I'm not gonna feed into the rage bait algorithm culture that consumes gaming YouTube, talking about Gamer Sokka Tower looming over the entire industry, destroying everything its shadow touches. I'm not gonna do that, because this is a Siege channel, and I'm gonna talk about Siege. What I think's going on here, in terms of the mechanical approach that Ubisoft is doing, is a very deliberate, concerted effort to get back to this, or at least some representation of this. We didn't really have this mechanically back then, because people didn't know what bullet peeking was. I'm a fan of slowing down ADS. I'm a fan of trying to make the game more deliberate and tactical. I'm a fan of this idea that we can take the two things and put them together. We can take strategy and tactics, put those things together. We can combine mechanical skill with your brain. We can combine elements of, say, attack shooter with the more competitive, sort of, sweaty, focused, refined aspects of an esports shooter. What makes Rainbow Six Siege work is that it's a sum of its parts. And we've made a very deliberate, multi-year effort to tack back towards the tactical fantasy that was the original games, while still retaining the parts of the game that make it competitive, interesting, and engaging to play. When we circle back to the scope changes, no more 1.5 scope, for instance. A lot of people are going to say, Pro League complained, and now I have less scopes. Was it just Pro League? I thought the general consensus with this sort of stuff was that the game was getting too Call of Duty-like. It was getting too run and gun. So we can't have it both ways, right? We can't approach the game from one angle that says it needs to be this aggressive arcadey shooter, and it has to be this tactical boomer shooter. Year 9 Season 1, in my opinion, is a step in the right direction towards this more tactical vision of Siege. And let's say that the game keeps making changes like this all the way up to year 15, like the ADS change that I just showed you. Let's say that it's a fully realized dad shooter, finally, just like the previous games. You know whose fault it's going to be for losing a gunfight? Yours. All right, so rapid fire. Power fantasy? You want to feel like you're an action hero? Like you're in a cop movie or something? Well, I think the shield rework's gonna do that for you. You can look around to make sure you're not gonna run into a Capcan trap. You can reload behind the shield safely. The only catch is that you have to commit to the bit. You can't hip fire ADS anymore. But now you can get in their face with your shield more easily and feel like a walking tank.
There was one guy deep inside the kitchen.
I'm just gonna push games,
I'm
guys.
scanning again.
Okay, one standing on the bed.
Yeah, that's dope right there.
I hit the...
Alright, I'm gonna plant. Planting, guys. Putting a drone.
Diffuser is active, protected at all costs.
Drone activated. Okay.
Still kids. Goes kind of deep.
Oh god.
Last operator standing.
Do you win these? Watch out for the...
Four remaining.
You're so good!
Nice.
Let's go!
Friendly.
Legend.
A new shield player in the making right here.
God.
Holy.
That was good. That was a great round. I got the melee in. Well, he's vigil. Yeah, he's
Keep
okay.
scanning. Nice!
Poor guy.
Wow.
Poor guy.
Up and down,
Shower?
boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, one
Oh, yeah.
shot.
We get shower. Can we
can.
Deimos him? Oh yeah, it's Frost? Yeah, Deimos
I can
Frost.
scan again. Yeah.
That's all my Deimos.
Problem.
We're just bullying them.
Feels so powerful. Are they
Below.
above? No, they're...
That's the calling card of the new operator, Deimos. This is the gun he kills Harry with. Look, I know, playable villain, playable bad guy. I'll talk about the gameplay first, and then give my insights on the writing angle. Deimos is a very powerful intel gathering attacker in this current iteration. He has 3 little hunter-seeker drones that fly towards a defender that's been identified by the attack. That includes the scanning functionality you can use to designate an operator at the top of the screen. His little Dragon Ball scanner on the side lets you select from the list of operators, and then when you activate your gadget, your little droid will look for them and then give you an intel ping when they find them. You can see their exact location, but the enemy who's being scanned can see yours. This creates an interesting dynamic. On one hand, you're discovering the location of an opponent. On the other hand, you're giving yourself away too. I took advantage of that in this clip.
Where? Where's Deimos?
His main lobby. Main lobby door.
Got him!
Nice.
Nice.
Finka down.
Nice.
Deimos was outside big window last time. Still outside big window.
I'm targeted. I'm coming back to site.
Both outside big window.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both outside big window.
Your location has been compromised. Op 4, last stop standing.
Oh,
So while it's described like a free 1v1, this is a defender-sided game, and you will be peeking into an engagement the enemy will be prepared for. So I think Deimos is going to be used exclusively for intel gathering, and kept alive throughout the course of the round, where he shines in post-plant scenarios. This revolver is his unique weapon, and evokes that of the Han Solo blaster pre-nerf back during Operation Wind Bastion, if you remember that. I definitely think this thing is going to get nerfed, but you'll appreciate it because to counteract the power of his gadget, he can only use this handgun while it is active. Otherwise, he gets access to the M590 shotgun or Nomad's AK-74. All right, opinion time. I was not a fan of having a playable villain, but then I played the character and I was shocked by how much personality they gave this guy. He whistles to himself as he hunts down opponents. He's got quips and remarks. I'm waiting for my cooldown. And many years ago, I think the Whedonism of Hollywood would have infected the writer's room and potentially could have made this guy fall flat. But here I don't get that reaction. What I feel like I'm getting is a much more mature and involved sort of approach to this sort of storytelling. Deimos feels like a real guy, and his voice actor does a great job with him. Let's think about it from the perspective of Siege's audience. Who is the type of person who's going to be irritated by this aspect of him being a playable villain? And I don't mean somebody who's going to look at it and go, I don't know about that, but still play the game regardless. I mean somebody who's going to have a hard line, no, this is it, this is the deal breaker for me. I don't think those many people really exist in numbers, because I think those people quit playing the game before it came out. I don't think they ever got into the game. I don't think they ever got into the game because in 2015, it was a multiplayer only game with no single player. We've been trying to tonally shift the game back to a more grounded sort of approach, and people are still angry about it. You know why they're angry? They're angry because Siege is a multiplayer live service game with esports and microtransactions. And as long as that's the case, there are going to be people who are never, ever, ever going to be satisfied. This meme is Rainbow Six. And you know what? When the first book came out, the Macarena was on the Billboard Top 100. Tom Clancy fans need to contextualize the environment we are in. We had a period in the 2010s where people were scared to even do this kind of writing at all. Now we're taking a lot of that older stuff and recontextualizing it in a modern information age environment. And I think that's really cool. Will that older single-player Rainbow Six game ever happen again? I don't know. I think it would sell really well if they had the right people working on it. But this is the entertainment industry. Sometimes things that seem like a slam dunk to us just kind of get overlooked. It happens in the movie business, it happens in music, it happens in gaming. I'm a massive Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. I grew up with Star Wars. The Rise of Skywalker doesn't take away the original trilogy for me. It doesn't take away years of formative development that make certain parts of my brain activate when I hear the music, when I hear the sound effects. So it's almost 10 years now. I'm just going to be patient. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait and see what Rainbow Six does. They have slowed down ADS time considerably. There's 4 sight options. Iron sights, which give you faster ADS time, 1 times optics, 2.5 times optics, and 3.5 times optics. Some operators are getting their ACOGs back, like Twitch and Ash. Some operators are getting ACOGs they never had, like Thorn and Wamai. Angled grip gives you faster reloading time. Foregrip does what it always did, but some guns get horizontal grip, which I think aesthetically is just no grip, and that keeps your movement speed when you are ADS, like the strafing speed, when ADS'd, faster. So on one hand, we're slowing down ADS time. That's more tack shooter. But the stuff I mentioned with the grips, right? Like this grip magically makes your reloading speed faster. That's not a tactical mechanic, right? Like that's balancing. That is game balancing. That's an arcade. That is a strategic balance decision. But I think that demanding the game be like post-scriptum or something is unreasonable, especially when you contextualize it with, oh, well, back in my day, in 2015, it was more tactical. No, it wasn't. People claimed it was more tactical because they weren't getting fried. Then they started getting fried by 16-year-olds, and then it wasn't tactical anymore. I'm gonna say it again. People who think that Siege is just Call of Duty with Overwatch abilities do not know what they are talking about. Most of you in my audience know that the only reason I've ever been irritated in the past couple of seasons is because of the cheating situation. If the cheating situation is handled, I think the game will be fine. Every single time people count this game out, it still manages to bounce back in some kind of profound way. That's because there isn't a single game on the market like it. If the team keeps leaning into this stuff, if they keep leaning into stuff like slowing down the ADS, making it slower, making it more deliberate, making it more team-oriented, I think we'll be fine. What if people don't like it? Who cares? People do like it now. And we should make the game for people who like it, not people who hate it. Who would have thought? If you guys are going to stick with me for another year, I'll stick with Siege for another year. How about that? Thanks again to Ubisoft for sponsoring this video. Thank you to the devs. You guys know who you are. Thank you to the people who have given me various professional opportunities with this game. It's more than a game to me. It's a lifestyle. It's a part of who I am. Let me know in the comments what you think of Year 9 Season 1 and what you expect from Year 9 moving forward. Thanks again, and here's to 2024. Deuces.